Gallows is the newest found footage horror film, and it tells the story of back in 1993. There was a school play called The Gallows being put on at this high school, and this kid named Charlie accidentally got hung on stage in front of an entire audience and died. And it was a really traumatic experience for a lot of people. Then it goes forward 20 years into the future to 2013, where the same school is putting on a new performance of The Gallows for the first time, and there's this kid who doesn't want to be in it. He's forced into doing a drama class and he has to play a role in it. And since he doesn't want to do it, he and his friends decide that they're going to go to the school during the nighttime and they're going to destroy the set so that way this play can't go on. But once they get there, things start going down that kind of relate to the death of Charlie back in 1993. And we have a movie. Now, the trailers for this movie made it out to be like it was going to be the new Friday the 13th or A Nightmare on Elm Street. It was like, Freddy has his glove, Jason has his machete, and Charlie has his noose. And just watching it, I was like, this movie is not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all. And not only was it not good like I thought it was going to be, it was worse than I thought it was going to be. It was truly a terrible movie. I've never really been a huge fan of the entire movie being a found footage movie. The Blair Witch Project was kind of cool, but I never got into Paranormal Activity. I thought it was just a dumb movie that tried to build up tension, and I never really felt anything during that movie. I like movies like Sinister, which find footage in the movie and use it to build up tension and strike horror into people, but most of it is filmed in a regular sort of view. But The Gallows sets a new low for me for found footage movies. This movie introduces the four main characters, which are all super cliche characters. You have like the cheerleader, you have the jock, you have the guy who's kind of lame, but he was like once a big thing, and then there's like the smart girl kind of and everything who likes drama. And these characters are so cliche. It's not like a regular cliche movie where you still kind of like the characters. The jock in this movie and the cheerleader are two of the biggest douchebags in high school history. You don't find them funny when like they're trying to be funny in the movie, like when they're being mean to people. It's not funny. They're just being complete douchebags, and so you don't care for them. You don't want them to live in this entire movie, and it's just bad. And then the other two characters in this movie are pretty much cliched drama characters, and they're just like not likable characters. You just don't care for them. They're boring for those two, and then the other two are just complete a-holes that it just makes up a pretty terrible main cast. And then when we get into the scenes where it's trying to build up tension and try and scare you, it's not that great at all. It's actually pretty bad because this movie is another one of those movies that just relies on jump scares. With Paranormal Activity, people liked it a lot because it built up tension. It went an entire movie where you're trying to figure out what's going to happen next as the scene progresses. And though it didn't work for me, a lot of people felt tension during that movie. But this movie unsuccessfully tries to do that, where in between like pretty much 10 to 15 minute intervals, it just shows them walking through hallways, and then there's a jump scare. And it's like, woo, jump scares, oh, jump in your seat. But it's nothing that great because most of the time it's just like, oh, someone just walked in the door and it was surprising. It's nothing like super great, and then it makes a loud noise too. Like it'll like someone walks through the door, it's like and it just like tries to freak you out that way. But they're just lame, and a lot of the time it didn't get me. The only time that it really got me was when the entire sound of the theater just erupted in my ears, and I was like, whoa, because it was super loud. But that was pretty much it. You don't have any doubts on how things are going to play out in this movie, how people are going to die, or how people will get by things, or how the ending turns out to be. Everything in this movie is just super predictable, and it's boring. You sit there, and you're just bored. You're like, oh, I'm just waiting for the next jump scare. Oh, look at that. There's a jump scare. Oh, big whoop. That really scared me. The only unpredictable part of this movie is this like last twist ending. At the last 2 minutes of this movie, there's an entire like, whoa, look at this. And though that part isn't predictable, I didn't really see it coming. It's also really weird, and it doesn't really work with the film. It's just dumb. I also don't like the editing in this film. The editing makes it so it follows two different people around, and so you'll have one kid with a camera and another kid with a camera, and then it shows the different perspectives from each kid, and it starts out kind of cool, like when the horror scenes start happening, but then you just know what's going to happen when you see it from the other's perspective. It's just predictable, and it's not fun. It's just, ugh. Really, for me, the film only has two positive things. One, in the Blair Witch Project, you have them in a forest, and in Paranormal Activity, you have them in a house. But this one takes a new approach to it and does it in a school. And since there are places to explore, it helps the plot a little bit to this movie, even though the plot is terrible. And it's kind of cool that way. The other thing that was kind of cool about this movie was something that's kind of a spoiler, so I'll mark it as a spoiler warning. It's a minor spoiler, though. Once you actually do see the main villain of this film, he looks pretty cool. So, with an unoriginal idea for a movie, with a pretty bad cast, with pretty terrible characters throughout, with a screenplay that's just bad, the lines of this movie are pretty god awful, and the only like really good positive things about this movie being the setting, this movie is seriously really, really terrible. I'm upset that this film took my money this weekend. This film does not deserve any money. You should never like rent this on when it comes out on Redbox. You shouldn't go see it in theaters. You shouldn't see it at the cheapo flicks for like $2. This movie was seriously one of the worst I've seen all year. This film gets 1 star. Guys, I'm just gonna ask this question just in case you like accidentally stepped into the wrong theater or you thought this movie might be okay. Have you seen this movie and what did you think about it? How did it compare to any other found footage movies? If you haven't seen this movie, what's your favorite type of horror movie? What makes a horror movie good? What's your favorite found footage movie? Whatever you thought, comment below and let me know. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.